Chat tales. Don't you wanna hear some chat tales? Chat tales. Oh yeah, chat tales. Okay, people, how you doing? Okay, so this is another chat tale. Okay, all right. So I was going through some stuff, and then I actually remembered this one off the top of my head, and I have told you a chat tale. I don't know what episode it was, but it was about me and Tyeb in Ibiza, and they dressed him up like a caveman, and well, go back and listen to that one if you ain't heard it, because that is a funny one. Anyway, another story from the same holiday came into my nut, so I thought I'd spread the love. Yeah, so all right, so Tyab and me went on this holiday to Ibiza. It was like we were sitting in my house, bored, both had a week, like it was the Friday when we had the next week off work, and I just said, let's go on holiday, you got money? And he's like, yeah. And I said, all right, sweet, let's go on holiday. Got your laptop out, Thompson Holidays, sweet little week to Ibiza. It was just like it was either before their like mental season was starting, or the week it had finished or whatever, because we're not really into all that. But just thought we'd go and give it a go, you know what I mean? One of the old Balearic Islands. I think I've been to all three now. Well, anyway, we're on this holiday, I could sit here and tell you some mental stories from every day that we was there, you know what I mean? But you've got the old caveman one, which it's unbelievable, so go back and listen to that. But this one is about when me and Ty hired a car. All right, so we went to the hire place, and I think Ty bought it. Yeah, I think he did. So what they had was little Seat Ibizas, brand new ones, little Seat Ibizas, nothing special going on, but you know what I mean. So we hired a Seat Ibiza, and then we decided to go driving around the island, and we were stopping off at all different places, some mental market. Anyway, ended up in like Ibiza town, like their little, I don't know if it's the capital, if you could call it that or whatever, but the little, you know what I mean, the heart and centre, because we were staying in the mad bit actually in San Antonio, but as I say, it was either the week before the season was kicking off, or the week the season had ended. So it weren't that mad. Still had a couple of people left there from all the mad clubbing and all that sort of stuff. Anyway, so we're driving around, taking it in turns to drive, like, and then anyway, so we end up in our Ibiza town, and we're like, right, let's park up somewhere and go and have some lunch and just have a walk around and see what it's like. It's actually, because like, I think Ibiza's got a bit of a stigma attached to it, where people think, do you know what I mean? It's just where people go to get out their faces and go mad in clubs and all that. But it's actually, it's a really beautiful island. It's proper nice, and like the Ibiza town bit is extra beautiful because it like looks over the harbour and all that, like, and there's all restaurants, and yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's definitely worth visiting, you know what I mean? Even if you're not into all that mad stuff. Just, I mean, I suppose Ibiza town's probably not really like mental like these places anyway. A lot of the clubs are out in the stickles, you know what I mean? Keep them out of the way. But San Antonio can be a bit mad. I could see that, you know what I mean? We was the week after the madness had just started to quieten down or whatever, or the madness was about to kick off. But yeah. So anyway, we find this little parking space. We pull up, put the car in the space, all that. So we start to walk off down the road, yeah, and then we hear this, like, I don't know, it sounded like a tractor, but it was a car. It was just like, so we turn around, we're looking at it, and it's coming down the street that we're parked on. We're a bit further down the road though. Anyway, this car has just gone straight into our hire car, into the RCR Ibiza, put a big black mark down the side of it. Yeah, the geezers just carried on, drove past us. We're screaming at him with nothing, you know what I mean? He actually looked like a Mexican. He was probably Spanish, but he looked like a Mexican, do you know what I mean, with the old hat and all that. So anyway, he's gone. So we've run back to the car, because I think in the beginning we was thinking, that's it, chase him down. Do you know what I mean? But we got back to the car, and we just looked at each other. We was cracking up the entire flight. And we looked at the car, and it's got this big black mark down the side. But we checked it over, and it weren't actually dented. It was just like, I don't know, like whatever his car was made out of had spread itself down the side of one of the doors. So we was like, oh, fucking hell. I was like, Ty, just leave it. Let's go and spend the day in Ibiza town. We'll sort it out later. So we went off, had a meal. Do you know what I mean? Might have had a couple of beers, don't know. Ty was driving back. Yeah, so basically, when we got back in the car after being out for the day, we was like, right, what are we going to do about this mark? Because I don't want to be charged. Do you know what I mean? So I was like, do you know what? I reckon if we can find T-Cut, it'll probably just come out with T-Cut, like good old rubbing a T-Cut. We couldn't find T-Cut anywhere. None of the petrol stations. No one. People didn't even know what we was talking about. You know what I mean? It's probably called something else out there. But so we decided that disguising it would be a better idea. So we found a place where we could drive onto the beach, and we drove onto the beach, threw like water all over the side of the car, and then just started to like stick sand to the side of this car. So we covered it in sand, and it was dropping off. Was covering it some more. It's dropping off. Anyway, after a while, we managed to do a half decent job. The car looked like it'd been on a rally, you know what I mean? It was covered in sand all over. Well, anyway, we got back in the car, drove back to our hotel, parked up where we was meant to leave, because they was coming to collect it in the morning, the hire company. So we left it where we told them they could pick it up from, and went up into our room, whatever, and we went out that night, back, car still there, fine, just covered in sand. And yeah, the next day, like, obviously we was lagging nutters out in whatever club we was in or whatever, like, and then in the morning, like, we woke up, we both was just like hung over proper and all that. And then I was like, Ty, if they pick the car up? And he's like, oh shit, I don't even know, let's check it out. So we went out like onto our balcony bit, because we could see down to where we had parked the car. Looked down, and to our greatness, the car was gone. And then I was like, right, they're going to take it back to their little car place. They're going to clean the car, and then they're going to find this black mark. And then they're going to come back after us. So for the next couple of days, we're like, is it today? Is it that? Well, anyway, they didn't, nothing came of it. And like, Type was like, but they've got all my details and all that, you know what I mean? Like, they're obviously going to contact me, like, but a couple of weeks still after when we got back, nobody had called. So yeah, so we got away with that little one, you know what I mean? But yeah, it was proper funny watching us on the beach, like people looking at their hotels, or other people that were just sunbathing or whatever, looking at us pulling up on the beach, and then throwing water all over the car, obviously to give it a bit of stick, and then like throwing the sand all over the car and all that. But yeah, got away with it. Nice. All right, sweet. Yeah, thanks for listening, and speak to you soon. Mwah.
CHAP tales. Don't you wanna hear some CHAP tales?